Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for a double daily dose of Dismal Disney. We're gonna talk about this. This is coming from Business Insider. They're talking about the Disney PR nightmare with the Disney Plus lawsuit debacle. For those of you who don't know, it's a whole thing. We've done multiple videos about it.
Yes, and everything that the Business Insider said, we said a while ago.
Long story short, there was a woman who ate at Raglan Road in Disney Springs, which is the shopping district at Walt Disney World. The restaurant Raglan Road is not owned by Disney, but it's on Disney property. She asked for allergen-free food. She did not get allergen-free food. She died. Her husband sued Disney and then was told he could not sue Disney because he signed up for Disney Plus.
And in their terms of service on Disney Plus is you have to promise to agree to arbitration for any issue with Disney ever.
Right.
Even if it's unrelated to Disney Plus.
Yeah. So now Business Insider, and they're talking to PR experts, and they're like, yeah, this is a huge misstep. Like Disney needed to just keep its damn mouth shut because people are going to question everything now.
Common sense.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, I want to point out that we pointed this out as soon as it happened, and the mainstream media didn't even catch on to it till weeks after the fact.
Yeah. So yeah, this is from like a day or two ago. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, give woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Yeah, this Disney Plus terms of service thing has become a huge joke. Unfortunately, people have died, but even Deadpool and Disneyland's making the joke about it.
Which I still think was too soon.
Well,
too
yeah,
far
but
for a theme park, but
it's incredibly stupid because now everybody's gonna ask themselves, well, wait, if I sign up for Disney Plus and I get my hand ripped off on Pirates of the Caribbean, which actually did happen because somebody put his hand in there and I guess the lift chain or something chewed his hand up. I can't sue Disney now because I have a Disney Plus subscription.
But apparently they're also putting the terminology into using the My Disney Experience app, which you pretty much need to
mandatory.
Use. It's not, they don't make it mandatory, but it pretty much is forced mandatory. I mean, because it's like if you want to use the stuff to make your trip better, you have to use it, kind of thing.
Business Insider, how Disney created a PR nightmare with its response to a wrongful death lawsuit. We've talked about this.
Yeah, they go through everything that happened.
Yeah, and she was a doctor, right? She was a doctor. And she was like, yeah, is this allergen free? And they assured her it was. It came out without the flags, I guess. And they said, no, this is yours. It's okay. She ate it and then she died. They said, in May, Disney argued that Piccolo, that'd be the husband, could not make his case before a jury because he accepted a subscriber agreement when registering for a Disney Plus free trial in 2019, registering for an account include agreeing to the subscriber agreement in terms of use, which include a binding arbitration clause.
It also says any dispute between you and us, except for small claims, is subject to a class action waiver and must be resolved by individual binding arbitration. So they did this, and you know, it went under the radar for a while until the media finally figured it out. We covered it as soon as her husband was suing.
Yeah.
The media didn't figure it out until last month, and then when the media figured it out, and then the general public became aware of it, and it became a big outrage. Then Disney backtracked after the general public found out about it.
Well, yeah, and I think it hit them in the wall. They said that one X.
Oh, I'm 100% sure it did.
Yeah, one X user called the Disney Plus argument very dystopian. Others encouraged people to cancel their subscriptions in retaliation. One post got like almost 100,000 likes. The Associated Press published articles describing Disney's argument as a cautionary tale for consumers who click agree without reading the fine print. I'm sure it hit them in the wallet. I'm sure a lot of people canceled Disney Plus because of it, because they're like, hell no, I'm not going to wait, because they own so much, right? Like, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. Disney spokesperson soon attempted to quell the masses with the statement.
Actually, the statement was made before that. The statement was made back when we first covered it, because they're saying that they basically were doing it because they were defending themselves against the lawsuit because it was the restaurant's fault, not theirs, which honestly, it would be the restaurant's fault, not Disney's. But Disney, all you do is stay quiet, deal with it, and it would have been okay.
Yeah.
But instead, they took like a little cut and they picked it till it became like a massive infected wound that could be life-threatening.
That actually does happen. People pick at that wound.
Okay, that's just
and it gets all green and
okay,
pussy.
yeah, we know. Like the money that they want. So then you brought this up that the David Triana.
Yeah, this is a guy who's a media relations director at Axia Public Relations, a top national PR agency. He told Business Insider that the Disney Plus argument in tandem with the arbitration request was a misstep. Oh my God.
No.
It was a misstep.
Only other people had said that before.
I'm honestly surprised this was even entertained by Disney. We're not talking about losing a little money on a park ticket or sharing a password for your Disney Plus account. Somebody died.
Yes, that's why the general public was so outraged.
He said he thought that Disney might have been thinking from a legal perspective. It lost sight of the human perspective. Yeah, it looked really...
That's the new Disney difference.
Incredibly callous, right? I mean, it did. It was like, oh, well, you signed up for Disney Plus, so sorry your wife's dead, but you can't do it.
Well, it made everybody pause and be worried because, like, wait, if I ever sign up for anything from Disney with this terms of service, does that mean that if something happens when I'm, visiting a Disney park, that Disney's going to try to say I can't sue them?
Well,
even if they're at fault?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He said, yeah. He said it might give people pause if they're coming to the parks for the first time or if they're planning on signing up for Disney Plus. They'll say, okay, I've signed this. Does that now put me at a disadvantage? Mm-hmm. And he said Disney's first statement didn't curb the criticism from consumers online. So less than a week later, Disney said in another statement it would prioritize humanity and reverse course, waiving its right to arbitration. They didn't say, hey, this is wrong. They're like, we have a right to arbitrate. So they're saying we still could do that, right?
They're basically, they would not admit wrong. They're just like, you're basically saying that they still have the right to arbitration anytime any of you agree to it. Yeah. We're just choosing to waive it in this instance. Yeah. So they're not saying that we're not going to push this with people. They're just saying in this instance, we're going to waive it because it's a bad look. But they still have the right, and the way they worded it was, we have that right no matter what. We're just choosing to push it aside.
Yeah.
Implying that they might not for you.
They might not for you, yeah. Disney wanted to avoid a jury trial. That's why they do arbitration.
Trial, yeah.
This is Natalia Sheenan, a business law attorney in California. Point out that Disney neither owns nor operates Raglan Road. Yeah, that's what was weird about it. They just kind of wrapped it because Disney's a landlord, so it's not even a Disney-owned restaurant. Another reason could be that Disney hoped to avoid a jury trial where sympathy for a multi-billion-dollar corporation could be scarce. She said it's not uncommon for large companies to suggest arbitration rather than a jury trial.
Well, yes, that's true. Or a lot of times they settle. They give a settlement and it goes away. Well, they can't even do that here because it became too public.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, he just wanted like funeral expenses, like $50,000.
No, $50,000 is a jumping off point. They keep doing that. Okay. They did it with Gina Carano and with other lawsuits too. It's basically like the minimum or whatever, and and then it goes past that. Like the jury would decide what the damages and stuff were, but it can't. $50,000 was the minimum. Is basically how this is.
Yeah, and they said that the jury would be like, oh, Disney's a big company. They're not being fair to the little guys. But again, Disney is just in this case. I actually side with Disney, and I think they have a defense in that they're just the landlord. They didn't.
Well, I would have. Now I side with with the family because I thought it was weird they were suing Disney when it was Raglan Road's fault. That being said, Disney can suck it at this point because their behavior speaks volumes, and they're still, even the way they worded it, we're waiving our right. Basically, it's still our right, and we're still in the right. It's like, but you're not in the right, and what you did and what you're telling people when they agree to terms of service for a streaming service should have no bearing on if there's a horrible accident, injury, or death at one of your theme parks.
Well, that's what she's saying. She said you could even argue that buying tickets would waive the right, but even then, Disney Springs is free. Anybody can go to Disney Springs. You don't need to buy a ticket to go to Disney Springs. So you can just you can live in Orlando and just drive over and get something to eat, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't need to buy tickets to go to Disney Springs now.
Yeah, I think if they bought tickets to one of the theme parks and one of the restaurants in the theme park was operated by someone outside of Disney.
There are several restaurants operated in the theme parks, that are operated from outside companies. Yeah. People don't know that.
Or Starbucks or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be, so, but they were kind of reaching to try to keep themselves safe, and it wound up probably costing them a hell of a lot more in bad PR.
Yes.
And possible Disney Plus cancellations and vacation cancellations and just the overall, like, people already have a very negative opinion of Disney, except for that woman that was going to sell her kidney to to go to get back into Club 33, but the general public has a much lesser opinion of Disney than they did 10 years ago. So this did not help. And they need to really get, like, I don't know if, Skippy the intern put that out or what the hell happened here, but it was really stupid statement.
Yep. I agree with you. I'm just saying, I just think it's funny to me that they're like, this was a bad idea. And I'm just like, no, really? You don't say. I don't need a whole be somebody in charge of a PR firm to tell you this. We've been telling you this the entire time.
Yeah.
But anyway, now the Business Insider and their PR people say it was really stupid.
All right. Stupid.
You can't make this up. Are we going to wrap this up?
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.